Divergent thinking is a thought process used to generate creative ideas by exploring many possible solutions. It typically occurs in a spontaneous, free-flowing, non-linear manner, such that many ideas are generated in an emergent cognitive fashion. Many possible solutions are explored in a short amount of time, and unexpected connections are drawn. Welcome to Minds in Formation. Here we go. All right, cheers.
Cheers.
I forget what kind of whiskey this is. Homie from Private Label just brought it over.
Nice.
He comes in clutch sometimes. I'm like, oh, shit.
It's always fun to try something new.
And yeah, and every time he comes over, he'll bring some like good bottle. And then I'm a lush though, so I just pound it immediately. Like, yeah, save that one for a good occasion. I'm like, good occasion is today.
Yeah,
tomorrow at the latest.
Good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is delicious. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's see. So we got to start with our fun fact of the day.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. One of the most fascinating things I've come across today is NASA's announcement about the Perseverance rover's discovery of a rock sample on Mars that stands as the mission's strongest candidate yet for containing signs of ancient microbial life. Dubbed Sapphire Canyon, this really compelling rock was sampled a year ago, and after extensive analysis, scientists highlighted intriguing features like potential organic compounds and structures that could hint at biological processes, though it's still not definitive proof. What makes it stand out is how it pushes the boundaries of what we think we know about Mars' habitability billions of years ago, blending cutting-edge robotics, spectroscopy, and astrobiology in a way that's equal parts detective work and sci-fi. It's a reminder that even after decades of exploration, the Red Planet keeps surprising us with clues that could rewrite the story of life in our solar system. This sparks my curiosity because it raises so many what-ifs. Did life ever take root there? Could remnants still linger? And how might this inform our search for extraterrestrial biology elsewhere? It's the kind of breakthrough that makes me eager to see what Perseverance unearths next.
That's super interesting. It's like if there was life on Mars, which is reasonable, I guess,
totally
if
possible.
The conditions are right, everything's moving all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like how different were the organisms and the creatures and everything that existed there?
Mm-hmm.
Like how different is that from what we know today? Or even what we've seen on this planet?
I know. I always wonder about that if there's like just a million different possibilities, because here we're carbon-based and everything that's walking around on the planet, we're breathing oxygen, et cetera. But what if that wasn't the case? What if you breathed nitrogen and you were on a planet that had significantly higher gravity, so you were huge or something, like you were a giant?
Yeah.
Or who knows? Like life could be crazy. It could look totally different. Or maybe there is like a recipe, like, how here on the planet, nature just seems to work a certain way.
Yeah.
And maybe that's kind of similar, or maybe that's just how it works.
Or maybe it just works that way because that's the environment that the other planet's in. Like it can operate off totally different things because that's just the way life adapted there.
Totally. There's no way to know.
Yeah. That's wild.
But it brings up a pretty significant question, though, is like how common is life in the universe? That's something that's like the question, right?
Right.
Or like, are we out here totally by ourselves, or is it super common?
You'd have to be arrogant to think that we're the only ones in the entire universe with all the identified galaxies. To think we're the only ones, like there's no way. I don't know if other beings have found us, maybe, but to think that we're the only ones out there, I think that's implausible.
Yeah, I tend to agree. The big question is like, what's the level of intelligence that's out there? Like, is there a whole Star Wars thing going on like really far away, or not? Like, because it could be that it's like everything is so far away from each other that things just bloom and die over and over and over again, and you would almost never know.
That's true. Because who knows how many iterations we've been through on this planet
Right.
of different things over the millions of years. So yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, if any of them have figured out how to get here, they are clearly smarter than we are.
Oh yeah, big time. But I sometimes think, like, what is the true possibility of any type of interstellar travel? Because what we're capable of right now is like next to nothing. The Voyager that was launched like in the 70s, I believe. So it's been out shooting across the solar system for like 40 something years. Like it just exited the solar system not too long ago or whatever. But point being, it just reached the point where it's one light day away, let alone like think about how far away a light year is then. If it's been traveling for 45 years or whatever it is, 40 something, and it's one light day away.
That's wild.
And the closest star system is 4.5 light years away. So the distance is like crazy.
Yeah, we'll never in our lifetime get that thing anywhere.
Yeah. And because even if you could travel at the speed of light, which right now we're capable of like 0.01%, it's like a ridiculously smaller amount of speed than what the speed of light is, right?
Yeah.
But so even if you could travel at the speed of light, it would take you 4.5 years to get there, which is wild. And I don't know if
wild.
Traveling at the speed of light is even possible.
Yeah, I don't know. I was watching this thing recently that was talking about how if you can get to light speed, time stops. And we thought that light speed was the fastest thing around. But there was some, I don't know if it was a hypothesis or if they've been able to find evidence of this or what the deal was with that. But they were saying that the universe is expanding at a rate faster than light speed.
Damn.
And so it's the way the light gets to us isn't able to keep up because of it's going so much faster than the light can travel. So I thought that was a really interesting concept. My brain doesn't compute when when you start to get to really high numbers of light speed, like my brain just can't comprehend what that looks like.
Yeah. And if everything is expanding, it's like, can you even ever catch up?
Yeah.
Can you ever truly
Well, and
catch up?
what are we expanding into? Nothing? Like,
I don't know. There's something else I saw was that this new idea that we could be inside of a black hole, and that could be a form of, like, black holes are essentially like great cosmic recyclers that take in one but almost contain, and then it goes out and somehow regurgitates out into like another black hole or gets sucked back in, I think, shoots back out or whatever. But it's this constant evolution of like push and pull. And some people were thinking that could make more sense than the Big Bang.
the universe is out of control, man.
It is. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what the hell is going on. That's what I feel like.
Seriously. Anytime I learn something new about outer space, I'm just like, wait a second, seriously, is this real? Like, we're just on this floating speck of dust and all this craziness is happening throughout a universe. Like, we could just be a fleck of something on a big universe monster walking around and we don't know.
I know. The scale of things is bananas. And it's also funny. Have you ever seen those videos where they zoom into stuff at like an insane degree?
Yes.
And then it reveals how much is going on at like those tiny levels.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Have you ever seen like where they zoom in on like your eyebrows or something and all the different like bacteria and organisms and whatever that are like living on our face all the time? It makes you want to scrub your face with a Brillo pad or something.
I know.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so like, yeah, what's there? It's like there's always something smaller.
Yeah.
And there's always something bigger. It's like, yeah, it's just mind blowing when you really start to think about all of that.
Yeah, like there's truly levels. And I don't know, maybe that's dimensions in a way, you know?
Yeah. Well, and yeah, like to get into that, it's like there's all these things going on around us that we don't even see. And so how do we even know that even the things that we know of that we can't see?
You don't even understand what could be going on at these different levels that you're not even aware of. Like even the light spectrum, we can only see a little piece of the light spectrum. We can't even see the whole thing without all the specialized equipment. And how many different types of forces are there that almost operate in the same way? Like we're just kind of tuned into a certain frequency, but who's to say there's not a whole spectrum of things that you could potentially tune into or
Yeah.
activate or access or whatever.
Yeah. Because, yeah, it's like I know it seems like this room is full of nothingness. There's nothing besides these microphones between you and I, but it's just molecules. Like everything is full of molecules everywhere. There's really no open space if you think about it.
Yeah. You know what I thought would be a really sweet invention, and I feel like it's totally a thing in like sci-fi, like almost Star Trek. But if you could understand things at the molecular level, you could basically 3D print anything you could ever possibly think of, because it's all just a combination of molecules. So essentially, if you could have a machine, an atomizer that worked at the molecular level, you could just create anything.
That makes my brain hurt.
Yeah, you could just like, make me a new pair of boots, and it's just like, blah, blah, blah. You can be like, make me a perfect medium rare steak with butter and salt on it. Blah, blah.
Oh, I'd be doing that all the time.
Oh, big time. But if you could 3D print at a molecular level, right? It's theoretically it would make sense. It's just combinations.
Well, and who knows? I mean, the speed at which technology has been evolving, just even in our lifetimes. But if you look at the last 100 years, it's insane the things that we can do now that we could never do before.
I know it.
And so who's to say, like, and then like what's going to happen in the next 40 years? I'm so excited to see.
And it's just going to get
what all of that is.
Faster and faster, because with all this shit with AI, it's going to go crazy fast.
Yeah.
And where that'll lead, you know, for better or worse. But it's like you don't really know where it leads.
Right.
You didn't know that you were going to have a cell phone and be connected to the internet, and it would also be your camera and your music player and your GPS and
your calculator in your pocket.
Yeah, everything. Your calendar system, like if you go back to when you were in high school, when you were like, say, my son's age, and you're 16, you never would have thought that would happen.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, not even in the realm of possibility.
And that's just what, 22 years ago or 23 or whatever it is.
Was the brick
24
phones.
years ago. Yeah.
It's like, oh, these are the coolest.
Yeah. So that took a generation, because a generation is about 25 years, right?
Yeah.
So in one generation.
And I think it's a good reminder too, like the thing that I always try to keep in mind is I need to make a conscious effort to stay on top of it, of everything that's coming out. Because it's like, you know, this older generation, they struggle with all this technology, phones and smart TVs and all these different gadgets. I mean, some pick up on it decently, but I know a lot of the older population struggles with things like that. Mm-hmm. And with how quickly things are going to start changing, it's like, oh, I need to stay on top of this before I'm that at like 55.
Yeah. But we may have like have like a pretty legit helper here pretty soon. That's going to be something like everyone is going to have probably a personalized
their AI assistant,
AI agent, whatever.
Yeah.
And however it ends up looking, but you'll have something, and there'll be a point where everyone will rely on it pretty heavily. I think just like everyone relies pretty heavily on a cell phone right now.
Yeah.
Your like AI buddy, you will always be like, can you help me with this? Do this? How do I do this? Whatever.
Well, and it's crazy how much they learn about you. Like I play with ChatGPT for all kinds of different things. And yeah, like sometimes it'll say like, well, based on what I know about you, and it'll give me a list of like 10 things that are spot on. And it's like, hang on a second. How do you know all of this about me? But yeah, it keeps all of that and learns and picks up, like it's always watching for what additional information can I get to give better answers. And it's
totally
like, yeah, I remember going on dial up. Like it's just wild that that's where we're at technologically.
Yeah. And you can just straight talk to it too. You're like, I use Grok, you know, and you can use the conversation mode and it works pretty well. Like if there's something random, because I like fun facts, you know, or if you're in a conversation and you're just like talking about something random, you're like, well, let's find out. And you can talk to it and you can get answers in a really nice way in a conversation based, and it'll even like joke around with you a little bit and whatnot. It's wild. It's really
That's
interesting.
crazy.
But yeah, it does definitely remember your history. I use it for investing advice sometimes, or not really advice, but just to like bounce ideas around and come up with certain strategies and plans. But yeah, it's like a really amazing sounding board that has access to a ton of information. So
Yeah.
but I looked up a company the other day. I was like, what do you think about this? Like, where are we going? Show me some analysis or whatever. And then it was like, well, based on your risk tolerance, like you would actually probably like this one because you like to be a little bit more aggressive. I was like, my man.
That's awesome. Yeah, you're right, though. It's going to be our right-hand man at some point.
Yep. Yeah. Be your best friend in a way.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. I know some people are worried about the whole privacy factor. Like, big data, everybody's collecting your information. And I don't know. On one hand, I get it just because you don't want to have your information out there. But on the other hand, it's like, what are you doing that's so secret that anybody would be that interested in if you're leading like a normal, typical life, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I see both sides of the argument on that one, but
Yeah, I do too.
there's conveniences, there's drawbacks.
Yeah, and there always will be, but there'll always be forms of security that you can take, and that's just a never-ending process.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's a X vulnerability, there's X fix, and so on and so forth.
Yep.
And
Someone finds the next weakness or figures out a way around something, and then you figure out how to not let that happen. And then there's a new thing that pops up. Like, it's going to evolve like that forever. If only those people who put that much energy into, like, scamming people and breaking the law could put their energy into something good, who knows how far along we'd be.
I think about that, and I talk about it all the time. I'm like, if there was a way to tone down their self-interest and care a little bit more about others, like we'd be able to accomplish some pretty wild stuff.
Yeah.
If people were kind of rowing in the same direction, like we were able to have amazing goals and like everybody could get on board and work towards them, like we could accomplish some crazy shit. It'd be wild because we already have, even with all of our conflict and differences.
Totally. But yeah, like if you had more people, like you said, going in the same direction.
But it always takes something crazy. You have to be like evil alien invasion, and then we're like, it's humans against fucking those guys, dude. You're like, same team, everyone, same team. But that's the only way you really get that type of mentality.
That's true. Everyone feels so divided and like stuck in being divided.
Yeah, it's because we don't have any real problems. That's a thing for America, especially. Yeah,
I believe it.
I mean, not to say we don't have problems, right? There's issues all over the place,
right?
But we're not getting bombed. We're not getting you're relatively safe in most places in America.
Oh, yeah.
There's probably certain neighborhoods you don't want to go in, but relatively,
for sure,
you can get in your car and drive across country, and you're not going to get shooken down. You're not going to get fucking robbed on the highway or killed on the side of the road, most likely, right?
Yeah, in my class that I'm currently taking, it was talking about ethics issues in business. And one of the things it said is that slavery is still one of the biggest human rights issues in our world today. I don't remember the stats on the number of countries, but I want to say it was like 40 million people are still considered enslaved today.
Damn.
And us living here in America, living our lives the way we do, I didn't realize it was still that big of an issue in the world. Like, we like to think, that everybody's doing as good as we are, or trying to do as good as we are. And I thought that was a really interesting reminder that, hey, like, it's not like this everywhere. We really have so many things that so many other places don't have access to. And yeah, they have people enslaved or, prisoners being exploited for work and children being exploited for work. And yeah, it's like we lose sight of that here in America for sure.
Totally. And then that's what I'm saying. Then you just invent all of your own problems, because it seems like people require a certain amount of conflict, you know, like you almost like need something to fight against. It almost seems to be in our DNA in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, that's something I really appreciated about all of my deployments overseas, because it was always to a shithole and there was something fucked up going on, you know. So then coming back home, every time I was like, dude, this place is awesome. I love it here so much. America is the best, dude.
Yeah.
And I just would feel like so patriotic in those moments, or so thankful
Yeah.
that like this place is amazing. We have like beautiful national parks. Nobody's really messing with me. I can basically do whatever I want to do. Like,
Yeah, you don't have to worry about bombs going off or,
yeah,
cops trying to come in and steal your property or, all those crazy things.
yeah. I just
Yeah.
like, man, it's the best here. I just so much appreciation, and
Yeah.
a lot of people don't have that.
Totally.
And I wish that they did have that. Not to experience anything bad though, but just to get a little bit more of a sense of appreciation that
Yeah.
I get it. There's issues everywhere, but it could be way more fucked up, dude. And I don't think most people actually understand that.
For sure. I've traveled to some developing countries, and definitely not like anything what you've experienced in your deployments, but it definitely does, like seeing how people live in other places can really give you a refreshed view on kind of how good we have it here. Like I remember in Peru, there was this old church, and behind this old church, we were in like the old area of Lima, and behind this old church there was this mountain, and there's just like, when you think of like the little shacks that are just like stacked on top of each other, that's what was up this entire mountain. And it was just so wild to see, like right next to this big church full of all these gold decorations everywhere, there's just these people living in extreme poverty. And it's just a good, like we don't have anything like that here. I mean, there are some areas that are rough, but we don't have anything quite like that in America. And so, yeah, just a good reminder, like we really do have it good here. Even if you don't like some of the things that are happening, like we really do have it so cushy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It's amazing. And I also can't help but think about back in the day shit. I'm kind of obsessed with where humanity came from. And I imagine living like in the woods before modern times, like being a hunter-gatherer or something like that. I'm like reading another book about it right now. It's just like a fiction book, but
Yeah.
I think it's so interesting to think about that too.
Yeah, what a different life.
Yeah. And that was hundreds of thousands of years. And we've only been doing this like pretty comfy bullshit for 150 years-ish.
Yeah.
Ish, you know, and even 100 years ago, it was still kind of rough.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so easy now. At least if you live in the West, it's like ridiculously easy. Almost too easy. Yeah, you just go to the grocery store, you go to work, and you're just like, bah. You're just like rolling through life.
I think it's wild that, like, from what I know of history, there was this long time where there weren't really tons of technological advancements, and then all of a sudden things changed.
Yeah.
And I find that so interesting. It's like, what triggered that? Was it
Agriculture.
just agriculture?
That's where it all started. Like, and then it went up from there, and then it went like crazy later.
So was it just like one person figured out, like, hey, let's do regular crops?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I read about it, but I can't like recall like, and of course we'd just be making guesses, you know, it's 10,000 years ago.
Right.
We like find a little tool and we're like, we think we know what the fuck's going on, but we're just filling in a lot of gaps.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe it is one of those things where like somebody just had some random little idea and then another person had a little idea, and to get like, you know, over time, it just was able to make it seem like it happened really quickly in the frame of history.
Yeah, there was probably little pockets of people that had figured out ways to do things, you know, like you're like, yeah, there's something to it. Like the plants come back in the same place, and they would see it, you know, over the seasons, and they'd start to understand like, oh, there's like seeds and there's something going on, and people are smart, so like given some time and just ruminating and watching things, like eventually it started to come together. They realized that they could manage it on their own to a certain degree, and then that allows you to create more food, obviously, which is the ultimate thing that's required for a population to grow. Like you have to have resources to allow it to grow.
I still like to think that maybe aliens had a hand in all of that.
I mean, they could have. They certainly could have. At any point. I mean, there's even stories about we are created by aliens. Like they came down and mixed with the genetics down here and mixed like their DNA with like primate DNA and made hybrids, and we're actually alien primate hybrids.
I guess it's possible. I don't know. I wasn't here.
I mean, yeah, anything's possible. I just think it's fun to go down all the different roads of what could be possible.
I just like looking at, I mean, not only like the Great Pyramids, but all the different structures that exist from these ancient times. And there are so many of them that it's like even today, if we were to try to replicate this type of structure or these carvings in these stones or whatever it is, we would struggle today to make that work.
Totally.
And it's like with how far we've come and everything, the fact that we wouldn't be able to figure it out. We build skyscrapers, but like we can't figure out how to get these rocks to like melt together in the way that they are in these old places. And I don't know. I like to think that, I don't know, the fiery angels that came down in chariots, maybe those were spaceships. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a trip. Egypt's the ultimate trip.
I would love to go.
It's like the craziest thing. I would too, but
I've heard it's not great.
Well, and there's times where it's sketched too. So
yeah.
You really have to check like travel warnings and stuff.
And the pyramids themselves and like the Sphinx are just outside of a big city. Like,
yeah.
So whenever you see pictures of them, it feels like they're out in the middle of nowhere and it'd be this super magical experience, but you're just like on the edge of this bustling metropolis.
Yeah, totally. Like if you look in one angle and somehow block out the noise, yeah, you could kind of imagine you're in the desert.
Yeah.
But I remember hearing somebody say, but yeah, you look over your shoulder and there's a fucking KFC and a bunch of taxi cabs beeping their horns and shit like that.
But to go in those and just see everything, experience all of that, like, I don't know. I feel like places that are really old like that kind of hold an energy to them, and if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, like you can pick up on that when you're at those places. Like it just feels different. I don't know how to explain it. It just is different.
Yeah. Oh, and just be awestruck too. And just tripping out on the fact that like, how the fuck did they mobilize everyone to get this done? And then there's certain aspects of it. Of course, people have done a million videos and conversations on this. It's super fun. I watch YouTube videos about it all the time. But there's significant things that we would find very difficult to do today, like the precision and how far they moved some of those. Like if we were to do those today, it would be such a major operation.
Yeah.
If we were going to build those pyramids today, even with all of our shit, it would be a significant operation. It'd be crazy. Yeah. And it would take forever. It would take a long ass time.
And imagine trying to do it without everything we have available to us.
Yeah, and you got donkeys and bronze tools, dude. I'm like, something is like not passing the smell check.
Yeah.
That seems too crazy. It seems entirely too crazy.
I agree.
Something is not adding up. But it could be that civilization has come and gone. I mean, it's totally possible.
Yeah.
Everyone has a flood story. Every civilization on Earth has a flood story. Like Graham Hancock has made that series about it and wrote a bunch of books about it. But there was allegedly like a meteor strike in like 12,000, 13,000 years ago or something like that like accelerated the melting of the polar caps and caused significant flooding. That's where you get Noah's Ark and the Epic of Gilgamesh and all these different stories. And all across the world, there's stories of a massive flood. So if there was a civilization, a flood fucking wipes everybody out, kind of resets civilization in a way, and people are scraping it back together afterwards.
Yeah.
So it could be that they're much older.
Maybe. I know, even if they're only like a couple thousand years old, that's still wild.
Yeah. But then it's like, again, it seems like such a stretch to imagine them putting it together with the technology that they talk about in the history books. Yeah. I'm not saying it's fucking, they're wrong for sure, but there's still some shit that we are not understanding.
And all the different theories, like I've even seen theories that maybe like having to do with like the altered consciousness thing, like perhaps they had some kind of telekinesis where they were able to like collectively as a group move these crazy large objects using telekinesis.
Who knows?
I don't know.
I would say that's just as plausible as donkeys and bronze tools. There was like a perfect vase cut out of pure granite that even has the handle, and it's carved perfectly, like so symmetric. It's like it's perfectly round within the size of errors, like the width of a human hair, and it's carved out of pure granite, and it's perfect. And it's like, you would have to have like amazing lasers and shit to try to do that right now.
That's like, I always think of Puma Punku in Bolivia. It's this site that is, the way they explain it is it looked like there was some kind of structure here that was blown to bits. And they have all these, they refer to them as the H blocks. And they're all like they're multiple tons. And they're all cut in the shape of an H. But what's unique about them is in the piece that's cut out, the cuts aren't parallel to each other. They're kind of angled. So like if you were to slide something down into it and then try to pull it straight out, you wouldn't be able to do that because the opening is smaller than the rest of the space behind it. And so they think it might have been used as like a hinge mechanism on some part of this ginormous structure, but there's a whole bunch of them, and they are to a T exactly the same. Exactly the same angles on the H, exactly the same size, exactly the same weight. Like, it's insane. How could they have done that?
Yeah.
In like 600 BC.
Yeah, just like chipping away with a chisel, dude.
Yeah.
That seems insane. Or like it would take so long under that. Okay, if they were just chipping away with a chisel and they dragged shit down from the mountains and rolled it on logs and whatever, like these theories that we kind of get, like it would take so long to do that.
Oh yeah.
And imagine how many times you would fuck up. Like what would you do? You'd go, we got to go get another block, dude. That just added 15 or 20 years to our timeline.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's interesting about Puma Punku is they're above the tree line in Bolivia. They're in the Altiplano at like 12,000, 13,000 feet in elevation. And so it's not like they had all these trees around that they could use to transport materials. It's like they didn't have anything like that. And so now what?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the scale of it. I mean, I don't know. A part of me is like, if you had enough people, like just this like crazy kingdom, and you could tell 10,000 people to go work on X project. I mean, but even still, it seems insane.
It really does. I mean, I don't know. I think if you could get a bunch of people all working towards the same thing, there's some amazing things that we could accomplish. But those types of things, the pyramids, all that, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I wish you could get in a little time machine and buzz around to different periods.
That'd be so cool. Yeah, especially if you couldn't screw anything up.
Yeah, like if you were just like an observer, you were in a little magic bubble.
Yeah, like
and you could just go watch.
Just pop in and be an observer for a little bit, and then jet over to some other time and just watch. People would abuse the hell out of that, though, if you had the capability.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it'd be a bunch of perverts.
Oh, absolutely. That's my first thought.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
That's funny.
You can't stop the creep.
But yeah, I mean, like in theory, if you had a time machine, would you be able to go back to the Big Bang?
I don't know.
Like, what would be the earliest time possible for you to get back to? I think that would be interesting.
I guess you could find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's some limit. Like you're going your time machine and all of a sudden it's just like bing, 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 bing. Like you couldn't go any further. You're like, you're pushing a button.
Come on.
Go back further.
Yeah. Like that, I think that would be cool to like see the earliest thing that you could see.
Right. Yeah, because even regardless of what's going on, whether it's the Big Bang or the black hole thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But then what happened before the Big Bang? Or like,
right.
Has it just happened over and over and over again?
Ooh.
And even then, like, how did it start? Like, how did anything start?
Right.
How could something just exist always?
Well, and then if you had a time machine, couldn't you potentially move into the future the same degree? Like,
yeah, also
I
find
want to go, I want to go as far forward as I can and just get a glimpse of what that is. Like, I wonder where the cutoff would be.
But
is there a cutoff?
Maybe that's the ultimate mind fuck, though, is that there is no cutoff. It just goes blah, 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 and just rinse and repeat.
Maybe infinite in both directions?
Yeah, just endlessly.
Yeah, that makes my head hurt. Again, I can't grasp that large of anything.
I know.
Yeah, like infinity is just unfathomable in my brain.
Right. And then we come and hang out for 100 years if you're lucky.
Oh, yeah.
Like most people don't do that.
Like if you're big time lucky.
Yeah. I mean, all the women on my mom's
That's
side,
right.
too. They all live forever.
Yeah.
I think my great grandma
So you might be alive for a while.
Oh, no, not the dudes. Dudes are fucked. Like 65.
Oh, man. Well, maybe my mom and I have always said that mean people live forever. So maybe just get a little saltier and it'll add on a couple extra years.
Start being a dick.
It's probably not the best advice to give anybody. Yeah, start being an asshole to people and it'll better your life.
I can't do it. I'm like, I don't know. It's not that I'm a softie, but I am empathetic. So if I am a dick to somebody, I feel bad about it pretty shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
Unless it was like really deserved. And even if it was deserved, even then I'm like, nah. I can't, I'm like incapable of holding a grudge.
Well, it's just not necessary to be that way. Like,
and I feel so much better by letting it go. Man.
Yeah.
Over this past week, I apologized to a couple people because I felt like with everything going on, I was getting a little pissed and some people were saying some dumb shit. So I was a little aggressive towards a couple people. But even that, I felt bad about it. Even though I still think it was justified, it's fine. I stand by whatever I said, but I still felt bad for being aggressive.
Yeah, like,
and
hey, maybe I could have
rift.
been a little nicer about this.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't like that type of energy.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go there if I have to, but I don't ever seek it out.
Yeah. I had to apologize to a coworker today about being a little spicy yesterday. But yeah, it's like, this had nothing to do with you. It was just the day, like, my bad. But yeah, it's just not worth it. Like, you have no idea what people are dealing with in their life. You have no idea what people are going through. And it's like, you being an asshole to them, you don't know how that's going to impact them with what they have going on.
Do you remember what we were talking about? We got fucked up again. We were having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I do. We were talking about how you just don't know what the other person's dealing with in their life. And so don't be an asshole.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, it serves no purpose. I always feel better, too, if I just, move on with my life.
I do like when I can turn... Someone once said I turn rudeness into an art form, and you can say things in such a way that people don't quite catch that you're being an asshole, so you feel better, but they don't feel bad. but you still kind of get your point across of what you were trying to say. And I feel like I've lost some of that the older I've gotten, because I just don't need to be spicy with people all the time. But every once in a while, I'm like, I wish I had just like a fraction of that back.
Yeah. I know. I struggle with when to kind of engage and when not to. Because sometimes I think I can be a little too much, like, whatever. And I think there's probably times where you have to, I don't know, be a little bit more assertive in certain situations. But I don't know. There's a right way to do it. And I don't know. Maybe I struggle with that.
Yeah, I love watching, like, whenever they do those social tests. So, like, they'll have a hidden camera somewhere or something, and, like, some sort of injustice will happen, and they see how the people around react. And I always love the people who stand up for some stranger and just be like, hey, hold on a second. Like, whatever is happening is not okay. And it does. I do want to be more like that. And, like, I don't know, but there's that level of, again, like, how much do I want to get involved? It's like, is this my place? But I don't know. Sometimes it is, and it's just hard to tell where that line is sometimes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of factors too. Like, it really depends on what the situation is, like how egregious it is.
Yeah.
And at least to a certain degree, you have to gauge, like, how dangerous will it be for you to get involved, So there's, like, a lot of different things to kind of analyze.
Yeah. One situation I was in that really blew my mind, it was when I was living in downtown Denver, and I was walking home from school, and I was right off of Lincoln. So, like, super busy street. There's people walking up and down the street. And I come up to this street corner, and there was this person who was, like, laying in the street. And it looked like they fell off of the curb, like, as if they had just passed out and not even put their arms out or anything to catch them.
Oh, snap.
And just face planted into the street. Their face was so flat on the ground that you couldn't even see their eye sockets. And there was blood coming from this person's face. And I'm looking around because it was one of those moments. It's like, am I hallucinating right now? Why is nobody else reacting to what's happening? There were people just walking down the street. There were people driving. Like, nobody was stopping to do anything. And so it was very surreal. And I ended up calling 911, and they were able to come get this person and help them. And they did end up living. But yeah, it was just one of those things where it's like, that if this was my family member or one of my friends, like, I would want someone to help. Like, totally. And it just blew my mind that, we're in the middle of this big city, and all these people were just walking by, like, oh, not my problem. And it was just like, oh my gosh, like, it's just crazy how people get so disconnected to helping other humans sometimes.
Yeah, that's one of the real negative things about living in, like, a big population, is there's this, like, detachment in a way where you'll just walk over somebody. I remember seeing this video. I feel like it was New York. Somebody was getting stabbed, and then they were just laying there bleeding out and, like, rolling around and blood everywhere. And throughout the whole thing, people were just walking back and forth.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Like, I get not wanting to jump in while someone's actively being stabbed.
Sure.
But, like, to just walk on by while they're bleeding, like, call an ambulance, call the police, do something.
Yeah, like at a minimum, call 911.
Yeah, what if that was your brother?
If the guy runs away,
then
go help.
Yeah. That's wild. I know. I love seeing those things where, like, the videos where people show you that there is still humanity in the world, like people doing something good, totally, like, unprovoked. I love stuff like that. Like, we all need to support each other, man.
But then it can go fucking sideways. Like, you hear these stories, like, one of the real popular ones was not too long ago. I forget exactly what was going on, but some guy was being a maniac on a train and, like, threatening people or whatever. I forget exactly what the story was. And this guy like eventually like snatched him and like choked him out and was like, calm the fuck down. But then, of course, some people were mad at the guy for stepping in. I'm like, dude, why are you mad at the guy for stepping in? Like, you need people like that.
Yeah.
Because we've all been in those situations where like someone is going crazy or someone is being aggressive, and it's like, dude, people need to get checked every once in a while.
Absolutely, because if you just tolerate that behavior and show them that it's okay, they're going to do it repeatedly and more. And yeah, like I totally agree. Well, and that's like, have you ever heard of when people get injured and someone's trying to like help them or rescue them? Like say they're in a car crash and you're trying to pull them out of the vehicle or something, but because of something you're doing, maybe that injures them in such a way. But on one hand, it's like the car was on fire. I was pulling you out of the car because the car was on fire. But because you now have this other injury, because of me pulling you out of your burning vehicle, you're going to sue me for the injury that you got. It's like, but wait, I saved your life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So I think things like that make people hesitant to jump in and do something too. Like,
Yeah.
everybody's so litigious.
I know. It's crazy. The fact that like you could be defending yourself and then you're getting scrutinized or you're potentially even getting in trouble or catching a charge. Like someone's breaking down your window and you like shot somebody because it's the middle of the night and you don't know what the fuck's going on, and someone crashes through your door or your window or something and is trying to break into your house. But then come to find out like, oh, it's like a 17-year-old and we're like, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Somebody's trying to break in my fucking house, dude.
Yeah.
It's the middle of the night. I thought they were coming to kill me. Like, I'm immediately thinking it's worst case scenario.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's like this weird thing where you can't defend yourself.
Yeah.
Or like you said, sometimes even helping somebody. I had a buddy, he was out four-wheeling and somebody had gone off the road in the snow in some camper or something, and there were people from out of town. They didn't know what the fuck they're doing. They like shouldn't have been driving out there. So we stopped and helped them, pulled them out, and then they tried to put it like an insurance claim on him because they said, oh, his toe strap damaged our bumper.
What?
And it's like, he fucking pulled you out of a blizzard, dude. You would have been stuck there in the middle of nowhere by yourself. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's wild. People are so quick to want to make an easy dollar. I think that's why things have gotten so litigious. Like there's all these huge payouts on these crazy lawsuits, and people see it as just a quick way to get some money.
Yeah.
And like, well, if I could get in on this, then I don't know.
Yeah, there's people that almost do it as like their side gig. They like look for it. Jess has a friend that has like sued multiple people.
Really?
Just like find reasons to sue people. And I'm just like, oh my God.
That's nuts. I have never filed a lawsuit.
No, me neither. The only time I've even had to do legal paperwork was honestly for like my divorce and custody stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's really the only time I've ever had to do like paperwork with the courts of any sort.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to the government for anything.
Right. Well, and it's just, and maybe it's not so bad when you get there. In my perspective, it seems like it would be such a cumbersome process, and it would have to, like, I would have to be going after a lot of money to put that much time and effort into figuring it out, going through all the court hearings. Like, that's not an easy process. It's not a fast process. And so to dedicate that much energy into a court case, like, it would have to be a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. And for me, I felt like it would have to be something like pretty egregious for me to even contemplate doing that.
Yeah.
Like it'd have to be like, you directly fucked me over.
Yeah. Sometimes, like, I like to think I would go after people just for the principle of the matter, but I recently had an issue with my bank. One of my credit cards that I use every time I travel internationally, I use it because it has no foreign transaction fees. So this last international trip that I took, I was using that for everything. I think it was close to 70 different transactions, and I got back and realized every single one of them had a foreign transaction fee. And I'm like, what is going on? I've had this card for years and it's never had this.
What?
Well, turns out they changed their terms, but never sent me proper notification. I get digital statements, and there was like one sentence on page 2 of one of my statements that said, see the insert included with this statement, but there was no additional paperwork on there. And so when I called them and tried to fight them on this, they tried to say that they notified me appropriately, and I'm like, look, you said refer to the insert, and then you never gave me the insert. So this wasn't a proper notification, but they wouldn't reverse the charges. So then I went through and added them all up to find out it was only about $100, and I had already spent 2 hours on the phone, and I was like, this isn't even worth it to me. I'll just pay the stupid $100 and I just won't use this card again. But a part of me wanted to make a really big deal out of it just on the principle. But it's like, really, for $100, I've already wasted 2 hours of my life. It's just not. I'd pay $100 to just not have to deal with this. So
I know it does suck though when shit like that happens. Like, I've been having some bad luck with traveling lately, with just like flights getting delayed and then missing connections, and then half the time it's like there's no reason. It's a beautiful sunny day and the plane's sitting out there and we're just not leaving. You know, it's just something fucking stupid. But they don't like hook you up anymore like they used to back in the day. They'd give you some like flight credit, or they'd hook you up and be like, sorry about this, here's like $100 towards your next flight or something like that.
Yeah.
But now they're just like, fucking deal with it, nerd.
Bummer, dude.
Yeah. And so it is distasteful, but
yeah, now when I travel, I leave my house under the assumption that everything's going to go wrong. The trip's going to get canceled. It's going to take me 3 additional days to get to wherever I'm going. Like, I go in thinking the worst. So that way, like, if the flight's delayed for like an hour, it's like, oh, I knew this was going to happen.
yeah.
And you're not that mad about it. But then if everything goes off without a hitch, you're like, yes, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And I've found that just that little shift in your thinking can have such a big impact. Because I know it can be so frustrating when flights get delayed or canceled, or, you know, I mean, all the different things that can happen while you're traveling. But yeah, to go into it thinking it's going to be a nightmare kind of starts you off on the right foot, I think.
Yeah, that's probably a better way to look at it. But the only problem I have is a lot of times I do kind of like power weekends where I'm like, all right, we're leaving on Thursday. We have this engagement and we have that engagement. So I have like a whole thing set up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm only going to be gone for like 3 days or something.
Yeah.
So I have all this shit set up. I'm supposed to land and go straight to dinner or something like that.
And now you're messing up everything.
And I'm like, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
But shit.
I know. I need to do more of those like power weekend things.
I kind of like them, you know, just to bounce around, just to get out real quick. Like when we went to Key West not too long ago, that was dope. We had a great time. And it was just like 4 days. We were just gone for 4 days. 1 day in North Carolina, 3 days in Key West. It was sick. And
nice.
We'll do the same thing for California. We'll just go for like a 3-day weekend. We have a great time. It's so fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good time. But of course, longer trips are very cool as well, you know. But ideally, you're just doing both. You know? You do a long trip here or there and then mix in power weekends.
Yeah. I guess I'm about to do kind of a power weekend. It's more of like a power weekday. We're leaving on a Sunday and coming back on a Wednesday. But yeah, some lady family members are doing a girls trip to Vegas. So I think that'll be a great time.
Oh, damn.
I haven't been to Vegas
hookers and blow
in quite a few years. Well, not with the crowd that I'm going with for sure. Yeah, I don't think my mom's gonna do any blow or be any hookers.
Maybe she should.
I don't know. I feel like she'd be a handful.
Yeah, she'd just get carried away.
Yeah, she'd fall in love with it.
Yeah.
Change her whole life.
Yeah. She's like, I'm moving there actually.
No, but it'll be fun. Yeah, it's my mom, my sister-in-law, my niece, and I are all going. And we're going to go see Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. I haven't been to the Sphere yet.
Yeah, me neither. I definitely want to go check something out there.
Yeah, I'm excited. It looks like it's quite an experience.
Yeah, for the right show. I'd go out there for a power weekend just for the right show.
Yeah.
You know, if there was something cool going on, I'd be down for that. That'd be sick. You just
Yeah.
stay somewhere on the strip and go check out a cool show and then
Yeah.
have a good time.
Yeah, maybe I'll get brave enough to sit down at a poker table out there.
Yeah, we should do it. There's sharks out there, though.
It makes me so nervous. It's one thing playing in the group that we play with, but like, yeah, to sit down in a casino at a poker table, it's a little intimidating.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it can be. And depending on the table, depending on what type of table you play on, like people will play just super aggressive and throw money around.
Yeah.
So if it's not a limit table, like you almost have to play on some of the limit tables unless you're ready to go for it.
Yeah.
Because you'll be like, all right, I'll raise you $5. And they'll be like $200. And you're like, fuck.
Yeah. I don't like gambling with my own money. It's way more fun with other people's money.
Totally.
But if it's my money, I'm a little more stingy. That's why I usually stick to blackjack, or roulette is my new game that I very much enjoy.
Yeah, it's a fun time.
Yeah. I've figured out my way of, I've only played once, so I it's not a great track record, but I did walk away with like 2 or 3 times what I started with. So.
It's cool because it's like, it's high energy. And
Yeah.
when you got a cool crowd, or even when you're just playing with other random people,
Yeah.
people get so excited. And
That's like craps. I've only
Yeah.
played craps in Vegas one time, and it was like the last night we were there. I was in my early 20s. It's like 4 a.m, and the guy I was dating at the time, we were there, and there was this guy at the craps table. He had a big-breasted blonde chick on each arm. I have no idea
Nice.
who this guy was, but we walk up to this table, and he's like, "Hey, do you guys want to play?" And we're like, "Sure." So he throws down a $100 bet for us, and it wins. So he gives us $200 to start playing. And so we sat there for a while playing craps. And like, I only kind of had a grasp on what was going on. Again, it was 4 a.m. and we've been drinking all day, but it was so much fun. Like just the energy of the crowd and everybody. I just remember, throwing the dice, and everybody loved me. Apparently I was making people a ton of money.
nice.
But yeah, that's another game that I would like to learn more about and try to play that one again.
Cool. Well, we should take a trip out there sometime.
I'm in. Let's go. We got to try to hit Austin first, though, I think.
Yeah. I'm down for whatever.
Yeah.
But I also got to get a refill, so I think we'll wrap it up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds good. This was good times. Thanks for inviting me.
Hell yeah. Thanks for coming.
Hell yeah.
Bye.
Bye.